We've got something really special right now. This is a 6.5 Creedmore. And when I tell you this is a special rifle, bolt action, the most, this is an amazing gun. And I'm going to ask you to give me some of the specifics about it. But let me start right here from the rooter, baby. What is that?
All right, so this is not a custom gun. This whole gun was built by a company named Q, just the letter Q, and they've been known to do some very innovative and crazy things in the gun space. Starting from the tip, we have the muzzle brake. This is called the Cherry Bomb, and if you look right here, you see threads. This company is known for, they also make suppressors, but they're known for shooting suppressed. And the whole reason behind that brake is so it could accept their suppressors with no other adapters or pieces. It'll just directly thread on.
Okay. Chambered in 6.5 Creedmore?
Correct. Some people like to call it the better 308 ballistically. I haven't shot it out to its full potential, which people like to take things out like this to maybe 1,000 yards, maybe even a mile if you've got the skills for that. I've done about 600, 620, and I mean, this thing shoots.
What are we looking at here for the reticle?
All right,
for
the optic, we got a EOTech. It's their Voodoo. EOTech got into the. We all know EOTech from their hollows and their red dots and all the military work they've done. They got into long range. It's called the Voodoo line. This is their 3 by, I believe, 3.5 by 18. So a lot of things, what I like to tell people, if you're shooting long range, there's all these optics that'll go up to like 25, even 30 power. I've had those optics, and let me tell you something, when you're at full power, you better have that gun resting somewhere nice, because it's very hard to pick up your target when you're at that much power. And even if you're shooting 18 power, that's good. You could shoot 1,000 yards with 18 power. You could see your target. You don't need to see it, blown up to about this big, but you can shoot perfectly fine, very long range with just 18 power. And even when I'm at full power, it's not as bad as being at 25 power. And what I mean is when you're looking through your dot, your scope, and you find your target, and if you move even a millimeter, you're gonna lose it at that much power. The slightest movements will completely kick you off target.
So I know that mounts are especially, a necessity. What mount are we looking at here?
So right here we got the ADM, American Defense Manufacturing. That's their logo right there. This is their titanium titanium mount, and what they're known for is their QD levers. QD meaning quick detach, meaning you could just snap this thing off. It'll come right off. There's no screws, nothing like that. It's literally just 2 levers.
Okay.
And it won't lose 0, or I haven't seen it lose 0. This is one of those guns that I kind of baby also. I'm not throwing this thing around, I'm not running it through like torture tests, doing things like that. I mean, it looks nice, but it also costs nice. It wasn't cheap, and I believe in running your guns, but this is just kind of one of those unique guns that I'm not just going to be throwing on the ground and stuff.
Is the stock something special here? Because I see these cheek welds and
yes, sir. So my favorite part about this entire gun is the stock. The company. So everything you see on this gun is built in-house. That's why I love this company. Everything from these bigger parts to the little tiny springs, everything is built by them. If you look at this right here, the safety selector, it looks like a Talon made by Radian that we all know and love right here.
Okay.
But I mean, it is a Talon.
Okay.
But what they did was they had Radian make this specifically for this gun. You cannot take this off and throw it on an AR. It will not work.
Okay.
So they licensed this. They had Radian make it proprietary for this exact system. And then going back to the stock. So this whole gun, when you're dealing with guns that are capable of 1 mile range, you're dealing with a heavy weapon, right? This whole gun, without the optic or the mount, and without a loaded mag, without the bipod, just the gun itself, is about 6 point, don't quote me, but it's 6 point something pounds. That is very, very light when you're dealing with a gun that could take, accurate shots up to 800,000 yards. And that's what they were going for. Skeletonized stock. This is all aluminum. They have this their own hinge that they made, which makes the stock fold, which, you know, we all love. Makes it real compact. You could throw this in a backpack, in a hunting backpack. If it's meant for, it's a hunting gun, also for competition. But you know, makes everything nice and small.
The 6.5 Creedmore round.
Yes, sir.
Your recommendation: 308 or 6.5?
6.5. I think there's no longer an argument about it. A lot of people that will argue in favor of the 308 is because they probably have shot 308 and they just, that's what they're good with, that's what they're familiar with. But if you go and look at all the data that's available, 6.5 Creedmore is just ballistically, it's the better round. There's no arguing.
Availability wise, has it been a hard thing to get 6.5 because it's now coming to fruition that a lot more shooters are shooting it long range and for hunting?
Yes and no. Because of the fact that a lot more people are shooting it and a lot more people do want to check it out and find an alternative to the 308, it has become more available. But obviously, ever since the start of COVID with this ammo shortage, much like any other round, it's been, not that it's been harder to get, but it's just it's not very cost friendly. You're looking at about $2 every time you pull the trigger.
Wow.
And I mean, for long range shooters, a lot of long range shooters, if you ask them, if some dudes that shoot 338 Lapua Magnum and stuff like 7mm Remington mag, that's like a $5-6 trigger squeeze every time. So it is cheaper, but it's also not, you know what I mean? But everything you see here, it's all adjustable. The coolest part, what I like, every single torque screw you see is one size. So one torque screw could modify and field strip this entire gun. It's a T25, and if you loosen this up, I'm not going to do it now, but if you loosen this up, that'll allow you to rise up and down the cheek rest. And then same with this, you could pull this back, the butt pad, and then with just a click of a button, you have some micro adjustments to this. And then you have your QD sling right here. And then one of the most talked about things is this looks like M-Lock, yeah?
Okay.
It's not. This is their own thing. It's called Q-Cert, and everything mounts to these threaded holes you see here. This bipod I got on is mounted with the proprietary Atlas mount, bipod mount, and it literally goes directly in here. And there's an instructional video you can look at. This is able to bear 4 times the weight that your traditional M-Lock mount or your key mod mount is. They actually have a video of a guy hanging off of it.
Wow.
Yeah, he's like a 240-pound dude. He's hanging off the gun that they have propped up somewhere, and they just have something inserted in that Q-Cert slot, and he's literally just swinging around.
Are they known for making anything else other than this bolt action gun?
The Honey Badger. That's single-handedly what they're known for, man. The Honey Badger is the better MP5. Kind of an outdated weapon, but yeah.
Man, I'll take it.